So after over 1,000 kilometers on the crazy Lintas with all its potholes, with the insane traffic, there was a toll, my goodness. So the toll goes from Pekanbaru up to Duri. It's 100 kilometers. It literally felt almost like paradise compared to what we've been through before. And it was also my first time driving in Sumatra. Because on the toll, everyone was really chilled. It was a perfect road, just fantastic. And then after 100 kilometers, it was over. And we went back to the normal Lintas. But at least something. So Danu and we said, maybe we're like 10 years too early for this trip. Because hopefully in 10 years, the tour will be finished. But who knows? It's really a huge undertaking to build the toll all around Sumatra. So we've seen a few parts where they started building, and then we realized how much work it is actually to do it. But it was nice. It was nice.
We are at the Rokan Ilir Urgency. It's like in a midway from Pekanbaru to Medan, and then we stopped. We don't want to continue the trip in the night.
So once it was starting to get dark, we decided to stop and look for a hotel. And we found a hotel there. It was actually part of a mall. It was kind of weird, but we were just happy to have a bed and a place to stay. It's like this little transit town. It was quite dusty, to be honest, and it had like all these huge shop fronts. Some of them were like in Greek style, some of them were in Roman style, like the way they love to build it sometimes here. And all of them seemed very empty. So the whole town was a bit, I don't know, a transit town. What else can we say? Typical transit town. But I have to say, in the end, it really surprised us. We had amazing food there at night, just like on a little warung on the road, but it was really delicious. And then after that, we went for our first asik, our cool hangout with the cool kids. So we found this little coffee shop with some live music, and we stayed there, had a few drinks. So that was really nice. And I really didn't expect that to find a place like that in a city like it.
Where are we?
Tempat nongkrong.
Where are we?
I'm trying to find out right now. The name of the city. So during our hangout, we also had a bit of a chat and did some route planning, and we decided that we need some time to chill, some adventure, new places to look at. To be honest, I was tired. I was tired of driving the whole day, like every day. We've been driving for, 4 or 5 days in a row in this crazy traffic, and I really felt like I want to explore. I want to see what's around, right? I don't want to just drive and be on the main road the whole time. So we decided that we were just gonna skip Medan and instead go down to Lake Toba and take some of the smaller roads to drive up to Aceh. And thank goodness we took that decision. So it was so nice. So the next morning, we were looking for a place to stop, to just relax a bit and have some breakfast, make some coffee. But my goodness, we were looking for a long time. There was the longest stretch on the road without any warungs. It was just palm plantations, and more palm plantations. And which is alright because it's still nature, right? But you couldn't even stop there. So they had built these barriers between the road and the palm plantation, I guess, so that nobody will go there and steal the palm, I don't know. So we couldn't stop until finally we found this rubber plantation, so it changed. And on that rubber plantation, some ladies were putting up the warungs, and that's where we managed to stop. And since the ladies' warung was still closed, I made my own coffee and had my own breakfast. So I was glad.
Ooh, Italians using a crab keju, the best keju in Indonesia. Uh-huh.
The reality of camperman life.
What's wrong?
What's wrong? Film that way also.
Now you're good. No more grumpy.
I didn't even drink my coffee yet. Rantau berapa? Indah dan bersih.
In 400 meters, at the roundabout, take the fourth exit.
For lunch on that day, we stopped again just on a little warung on the side of the road as usual. And Dano was so excited because he had been looking for places with smoke coming out. Since that usually means they have barbecued fish, right? And this place really had some nice seafood. So yeah, my island man finally had his seafood again.
Big lunch.
That was fish.
Julie makan.
So happy. Whoa.
How is it?
Very nice.
Where's the Toba Lake? I want to ask them.
Maybe it's time for me to drive. No? If you're talking to the cows already. And then it was finally time again for us to leave the Lintas for good for a while. And we were driving down to Posea, which is on Lake Toba, via the Ashahan River Valley. I just pretty much found this road on the map, obviously. And we decided, okay, let's just give it a try. And yeah, it was a pretty cool route, so I can highly recommend it. But Dano was not so happy with me since at the beginning the road was really bad, like very bad. There were huge holes, like worse than on the Lintas. The road was very narrow, and on the side it was just like the concrete was breaking down. And then sometimes we had to try to kind of drive in the ditch because the trucks were coming our way. So yeah, it took a while until Dano was happy again. So this Ashana River Valley, it's quite famous for rafting. And on the map, I found a camping spot connected to a rafting place. However, once again, when we arrived there was nothing. Or at least we couldn't find it. And luckily they had a phone number and we called the guy, and after a while someone replied. So the guy from the rafting place, he gave us a tip to drive a bit further up the road and to camp close to the waterfall. And this turned out to be a really cool tip because it's the biggest waterfall in Indonesia. It's called Air Terjun Ponot. It's not very famous, but it's really cool. And so we ended up actually camping in the parking lot there. Because yeah, there's nowhere else. And the place is pretty cool because you had an amazing view of the waterfall, and since it was evening time, we had the whole place to ourselves. But unfortunately, there was a lot of rubbish around. So yeah, that was not so good, but what can you do? Today we can really test your tenda, eh?
The traffic is good, but the road is not so good. So I cannot speeding actually because I'm get used to Lintas traffic, so I just go and I go and go. You must really be careful.
This man has to learn to be slow and explore. For exploring, this road is perfect.
Yeah.
For going 70, it's not perfect.
Oh.
Okay? Because it's a mountain road.
And then we are now somehow Julie found a place. It's like a waterfall. Yeah, it is a waterfall.
Not like a waterfall.
It is a waterfall.
Two waterfalls.
It's really
Nice
really beautiful, really stunning. waterfall is really high, and then we will try to ask the local people here that it's possible for us to camp here, even only in the parking area. It's still really nice, and you can hear it. The sound is really loud here, and then yeah, it's really nice if we can camping here. That's it. If we get some advice or permission from the locals.
I'm happy. That's all I'm gonna say.
What is that?
A special Toba spoon. It looks like that thing that they have in front of the car to show the VIP people.
Very tiny, yeah.
It's cute. Maybe
That means you must diet sugar.
It didn't look like it before.
So we already asking permission from the local here to camping here, and then they let us to camp here. Now we are trying to set up the very simple camp with my car, and then we will continue tomorrow again.
I will put everything back here. Okay?
Yeah. What happened? You broke my camper van.
I improve it. Sometimes things have to be broken to be improved. Sure? Reinvent. Last one. It's magnetic, right?
I
The
guess.
screwdriver, super cool.
I guess. Of course, my stuff is old school.
Very cool. Because it's like, look at this.
Oh,
It's collecting all the stuff.
so now I just take out this door here, so it's make us easy to get the access from here. So we just take it out here and then get easy to access here. How if we put it here so it can be like a flat? What do you think? Like that, just under it.
Like this.
It will help, do you
Let's
think?
see if it fits. If the box still fits. Let's try.
The box will for sure will still fit.
Let's try if it's easier to put it in, no?
Okay.
Experiment number 1. Oh, this is the wrong. Oh no, this is the good box, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it makes it easier. Wow! So much better.
That's my idea.
Half, no?
Okay.
And then look, easy access.
Mm.
Wow! So easy access to the dirty laundry. We're taking it in. Yes. Yep. Good.
Okay. Every time you make a trip, you know the weakness of your camper van. What are you cooking, love?
Pancake time.
You missed it.
Yes. Sunday morning is pancake day, right?
Good morning, guys. How are you today? And this is so nice when you wake up in the morning. The first thing that you see is a beautiful waterfall in Indonesia. It's called Pongot Waterfalls. It's located in North Sumatra of Indonesia, and it's also the highest waterfall in Indonesia. It's about 250 meters. Is that okay? 250 meters high, and yeah, it's really nice. It's really beautiful. Last night we were camping here in the parking area, but still you can hear the sounds of the waterfall, and then also the sounds of the nature here. And you can also see the hills surrounding this area. Yes, this is really nice morning for us. And this morning Julie also make a pancake for us. She really missed it, and I think this is the second best morning for us in this trip.
So the next morning we woke up to this stunning view of the amazing waterfall. I cooked some banana pancakes for us, and then we decided to go for a walk up to a bit closer up to the waterfall. And yeah, luckily it was still early and there were very few other people, so we had the place almost to ourselves, and it was just amazing. Like, to stand under a 250 meter tall waterfall, it's just stunning. Yeah, we got very wet just like getting closer to the waterfall, but yeah, it was a very memorable moment, definitely.
Belitung Makassar lah.
Iya.
Sama, Belitung juga pernah saya ke.
Oh ya,
Iya.
sudah ke sana.
Ke apa namanya? Pantai yang batu-batu.
Oh iya.
Sama
Pasar Pelangi.
Iya, benar.
Sekolah.
Pasar Pelangi.
Iya. Dari
Silakan,
mana?
biar nggak keganggu.
Bapak ini dari Jawa.
Oh, Jawa.
This is the highest waterfall in Indonesia. We made it!
So we continued driving towards Lake Toba. The road was like going through the mountains, up and down. We passed by different water dams and also this huge hydropower plant. It was in the middle of nowhere, but they had like their own little village built there, probably for the local workers.
So green, very nice.
On the way, Danu couldn't hold his hunger anymore, so he stopped, but he did not like the food at all. But then I was waiting, which paid off because we finally arrived down at the lake. We passed by Pahapat a little bit, and then right after the town, they have this really cool restaurants and cafes just by the lake shore with an amazing view. And I had a very delicious fish there. So sometimes waiting can pay off.
Makan nila. Enak,
So hungry.
enak.
We just arrived in Danau Toba, one of the largest lake in Indonesia, and the largest volcanic lake in the world. So it took us 2 hours to get here from the waterfall, and then it's raining now. We just stopped for having lunch, and it's very cold a bit for me. I don't know, maybe the local here already get used to this weather, but for me it's like very cold.
And then we continued driving along the shore of the lake to the Tonging area. So Toba is like located on a quite steep mountain. Like you have the mountain and then you have the lake. And the road, it just passes like above the lake. So it gives you these very beautiful views. And it's just a very chilled road to drive. And we also found a little fish building. Not little, but it's quite impressive. It's quite funny to see. It used to be a restaurant and now it looks like they wanna maybe open it again or do something with it again. So there's some quirky sites all around Indonesia. So we arrived then at Siso waterfall. We didn't go down to the waterfall because it was already getting evening time and we didn't want to spend another night camping in a parking lot. So instead we just enjoyed the amazing sight there for a while. It's a stunning place. I highly recommend going there if you're ever in Toba.
Guys, we are still in Danau Toba, but in a different place. It's close to one of the famous waterfall in close to Danau Toba Lake, and the view is really stunning, guys.
It's a bit back. Yeah, back over there. So, how about the cold?
For me, I'm okay.
Sure.
Even maybe here is also like, I don't know, 7 kilometer or maybe 10 kilometer down there.
And after that we left and we went to look for a camping place. And luckily my friend Okta had a fantastic tip for us. He's the expert of Toba and pretty much all of Sumatra. So he told us a spot where we could go to on a hill. And yeah, we went a bit off-road to get there. And it was fantastic. So thank you, Okta. It was in the middle of the vegetable fields, just on the cliff. So it was, of course, an amazing view once again. But it was super windy when we got there. So we started to set up our camp and started cooking.
Alright guys, we are now somewhere on the hills in Toba Lake, and we arrived at like 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and then it's so nice here. You can see the Toba Lakes from like one of the hills, and it's really beautiful. Even at night you can see the light of the lakeside from the hills here, and it's also so a little bit windy here, and of course it's so cold for me, maybe, I don't know, for Julie.
Yeah, still okay.
This is a very nice place. They call it Beer of Binahals as Indah Resort or something like that. I will put it later. What are you cooking?
Back one time, finally. With my new cutting board, also called a table. Because something has been lost. But we are very resourceful, so it's okay, right?
Yeah, And when we started cooking, we noticed something. Half of our cooking stuff had disappeared. So what happened was, yeah, 1 week in, we already lost half of our things. What happened was that in the morning, after cleaning the dishes, we had set them aside to dry while we were walking up to the waterfall. And when we came back, we forgot to put them back into the car. But not we. Whose fault was it?
This is my mistake. I didn't check it again.
C'est la vie.
Sorry, Julian.
C'est la vie.
Yeah. So annoying. But luckily this place is so amazing, so.
So later at night, Okta came! My goodness, it was so amazing to see Okta again. So I had met Okta like 2 years ago through couch surfing, and he's been like my guide. Not really my guide, but he's been helping me a lot when I was traveling around Toba 2 years ago, and he was really helpful again this time. And it's always a lot of fun to hang out with him. So Okta, thank you once again. I owe you.
It's really windy and it's really cold here, and I don't know, we decided to stay in the car because it's really cold outside.
Our romantic wine time got destroyed. But the view is amazing. We try again tomorrow in the sun.
Yeah. Hi guys, good morning from Toba Lake in the North Sumatra province of Indonesia. This is so beautiful. So it's really worth if you stop and camping here. I am so happy that I can to be here. And this is like it's out of my expectations. I thought it's just like a normal lake, but actually this is really cool. This is really stunning. Julie's still sleeping.
My HP. Langit. Aku tunggu matahari.
Toba, it's raining again. So I come back here inside the car. And Julie's still sleeping, so always sleeping every morning. I always wake up earlier.
Bullshit.
It's a lazy ass. But it's really nice and warm here inside the car. It's a good thing that if you have a camper van, so you don't need to really worry about outside the tents fly out. So just sleeping and then wear your jacket, wear your sleeping bag, and that's it, you are safe. Now we're just waiting and hoping that the sun will come out.
No.
But for me it's already really stunning. The landscape is really good, even it's cloudy in the morning. That's a good point. Nature is always beautiful. Thank you.
He only talks like this on the camera. Not in real life.
No. Seriously. No, I'm serious. I just want to ask her to make me breakfast, that's it. I don't know, is it work or not? Let's see.
It's not working.
Well, it's not working, guys. Don't try this at home.
It's dangerous.
The next morning we went back to Sipiso. I cannot say this one. Sipiso waterfall. And I practiced my off-road driving skills a bit in the morning. We hike it down to the waterfall. This is also another amazing place. I know I keep on repeating myself, but Toba, it's just stunning wherever you go. So, yeah, I'm telling the truth here.
Let's only hole. Avoid the hole. Can you show the road and tell me again to avoid the hole? Avoid the hole.
How far are you?
2004 kilometers.
We are hiking to Sipiso waterfall now, and then we trying to go as far as we can go. You are. What is that? Hiking with style.
Hiking in style. Hiking elegance.
How is it?
Very pretty. Look at it.
Are you happy?
I'm happy. Are you happy?
I'm happy.
I have deja vu here. Here. Flashback to 3 years ago.
I think this is the best second waterfall in Sumatra, and then it's really worth it. We just need walking down it's like 10 minutes, and then you can see this amazing view from here. It's raining again.
After that, we were driving right after Sipiso waterfall. There's a road which goes down to the lake again. So it's a very like a road with lots of turns. But wow, fantastic. I fell in love with this road 2 years ago. Still remembered it, really wanted to go back, and it was just as stunning as it was 2 years ago on my bike. So yeah, go there. Everyone should go there. And then we continued riding along the lake in that area. So this area of Toba, it's like, for me, it's kind of like what people imagine maybe New Zealand to be like. You have this huge green hills. You have of course, you have the lake, obviously. It's just one of those wow places. Yeah, and then it was time to say goodbye to Lake Toba for a while, but we knew that we're gonna be back on our return back down to Jakarta, so it was alright. We were heading back up into the hills through the mist. It's quite spooky to drive through the mist. You have to be a bit careful, but it's like this special atmosphere. So for me, I enjoy it also, of course. So from there we continued our trip towards Aceh, but on the way we stopped by to catch up with Okta once again. So we arrived in the evening at Okta's place, went to the pasar to buy some food for dinner, and then we followed him on the off-road to the campsite. So it was like, this road was like going through the cornfields, and it seemed like we were already like in the middle of nowhere and all these like surrounded by plantations. And then suddenly there was a village again, and we were driving through this very narrow spots between the houses through what seems to be like people's backyards. But yeah, Okta was right. There was a campsite somewhere behind there. He had found that one for us. So yeah, it was a pretty cool place. And we started to cook some dinner. We had a long chat, enjoyed some Italian wine and then some orang tua. So connecting the nations. And yeah, it was fantastic to catch up with Okta again. Like I said, he's one of my couch surfing friends. He's been helping me out a lot already last time on my trip. So Okta, you are awesome. Keep on exploring. Yeah, and then before we went to bed, we had a swim in this awesome hot spring. It is very nice there. It's a little secret tip for everyone.
For me, but then better you try. Maybe my taste is already ruined. My taste buds.
You use your hands, yeah?
Long time in this country. Yeah. For me, I told him I always felt so safe in Sumatra when I was here around Toba, even before I was in Padang.
It's a different place if you're going to Pekanbaru,
Different.
Toba. It's a dangerous area, but
Okay.
when I last time there, I
You still go?
riding at night. Yeah.
First, actually, my concern is not about the criminal people rob you. If something happens in the middle of nowhere, like the cars have a problem in the middle of the night, it broke flat tire or something like that.
That's the problem.
So the next morning we were getting ready. I had a shower in the hot spring. And then we continued our trip towards Aceh, and more about all of our adventures and the amazing things that we saw in Aceh will be in our next video. See you there!
I'm so tired with the mountain road.
Pulawe! We made it to the other side of Indonesia.